Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to Goaltending, where your why is bigger than your excuses. I'm your host, Will Bland, and today we are diving into fear versus excuses. And what I want to challenge you with is to find something in the episode that you can take away. Find something that you can start taking action toward and apply to your journey. You know the ask if you've listened before. It's just that you like and subscribe. Leave a 5-star review if you enjoy the episode. And I love to hear from you. So comment with your thoughts and questions to join the conversation. It doesn't end when the episode's over. We can still talk about it. So find something that you want to talk about, add to the conversation, and let me know. And don't forget to share it to help get this information to other people. So let's dive right in. If you've listened to previous episodes, you've probably heard a lot of other guests bring up fear in some capacity. I've had multiple people even talk about fear being a key thing to consider and how you overcome that and how you can overcome fear, but also how you can apply fear as a resource to help move you forward. And then I've talked to other people when they talk about having a goal, when they talk about having something they're working toward, but not knowing how to get started or how to overcome the fear to get started. So what I want to begin with is, people will say, I'm just kind of scared, or, how do I overcome that fear? And ultimately, it's not about not having fear. So I want to go ahead and put that in your mind. Don't try to remove fear completely, because the fear is going to be there. We all have it. We are all afraid of something, and that's okay. It's about recognizing the fear and then taking action anyway. Don't be paralyzed by the fear. Don't allow it to hold you back, because then you're going to live a life less fulfilled. You're going to not achieve the things that you want to achieve because you're allowing that fear to stop you from taking the actions you need to take and doing the things that you need to do to accomplish your goal. So I want to keep that in your mind first, okay? Now I want to give you an example. So a lot of times you'll say something like, I feel like I need to know a lot more before I get started. So you have a fear of not knowing enough or feeling what you already know is inadequate. Don't allow that to stop you. Here's how you overcome it. If you feel like you don't know enough, all you have to do is identify what it is that you don't know that you need. So we get into this thing where we think we have to know everything to be able to get started towards something. And really, what we need to figure out is, what is the minimum amount that I need to know to get started, and then learn along the journey. So experience is one of the greatest teachers that there is. So just reading books and trying to connect with other people and learn from other experiences, that's a great starting point. But what you're going to learn the most from is actually doing it, actually going after it, actually taking the action. So instead of saying, I don't know enough, figure out what it is you need to know to get started, and then pursue that, whether it be through formal education, whether it be through a mentor or somebody else who's experienced it and been there. But find the minimum information you need to know to get started and then go for it. And then another example is, I don't have the money to get started, or I don't have the resources to get started. So you tell yourself, I don't have enough. This is where you need to make a mindset shift. So right now you're telling yourself, I don't have this. But instead of telling yourself you don't have it, I don't have the money, I don't have the resources, ask yourself, how do I get what I need? So instead of, I don't have the money, how do I get the money I need? If you can put a number to it, identify a specific amount, or identify the specific equipment or resources or tools that you need, whatever it is, identify it. And instead of saying, I don't have it, reframe your mindset to, how do I get what I need to be able to get started? When you can do that, you overcome that fear of not having enough, and you will accomplish your goal if you figure out how to get it. So start to open that creative thinking and really find what it is that you need and go after it. Now I want to bring up excuses, because a lot of times people confuse fear and excuses. Okay, so Just because you are worried about something, it doesn't mean it's a fear. It might be an excuse that you're making for yourself, and that excuse is holding you back from reaching what it is that you want to reach. So you may say something like, I haven't set a date because I need to get X done first, or I need to hit X financial goal first. That's not a fear. That's an excuse that you are making that is not serving you. It's holding you back from accomplishing what you want to accomplish. So maybe you've said something like, I don't have time. Not having time is not a fear. Not having time is an excuse to not do what you need to do. And the fact when it comes to time is we all have the same 24 hours in a day. So why is it that some people are more successful than others? Why is it that Beyonce or Jay-Z have built such successful careers in what they do when they have the same exact 24 hours in a day that you do? Or incredibly successful CEOs. Why is it that they've been able to build that success in their careers with the same 24 hours in the day that you have? And the fact is, it's about what you prioritize in those 24 hours. So stop telling yourself that you don't have the time, because what the truth is you have the time for what you make time for. So if you evaluate your schedule, look at what is it right now that I actually spend my time on? How do I maximize my time for the day? So first off, you can look immediately, how much time do I spend sleeping? So there's some people who say I need to get 8 hours of sleep. Well, you have 24 hours in a day. So if you spend 8 hours sleeping, how much do you have left? Is that 16 hours left in the day? So now you take that 16 hours, and this is what I have for the time that I'm able to be productive and get things done, that I'm not asleep. When you break that down, how much time do you spend at work? Okay, if I'm at work 8 hours a day, and then I have an hour lunch break, now that's 9 hours of the 16. So now you're down to only 7 hours left in the day that you have available. And then what do you have to consider? The relationships in your life. So you have a spouse or somebody that you're in a relationship with, or even if you're single, how about your friends and the people that you have relationships with? Or if you have kids and giving time to your kids, you have 7 hours left in the day after your sleep and the 9 hours that you have committed to work. And you need to spend part of that time on relationships. Like, relationships are some of the most important things in life. So you do have to spend time there, but you also have to spend time filling your own cup. Because if you don't, then you have less to give when it comes to what you can contribute at work, to when it comes to what you can contribute in your relationships. And especially if you have kids, what you're able to give your kids. And so what a lot of people do is they look at that limited 7 hours that they have left in the day after their work and their sleep schedule, and they put it all toward relationships. And relationships are crucial, and I get that. So you give it all to your family and nothing to yourself. And that's where people hit burnout. That's where people, run out of having something to give, and then they're just running on fumes, and you're getting a lesser version of yourself. And you could be giving so much more to people if you take some time to invest in yourself, whether that be your health or your fitness or your development for your personal development or your professional development. Those are all things that you need to work into the time that you have remaining in the day. Now, if you are working on your own business, if you own a business, then it works slightly differently, because the time period of work that you put into the day, first off, it's probably not going to be 8 hours. If you're an entrepreneur, it's typically a lot more hours that you're putting into the day, but that time is also an investment in yourself. But you still have to prioritize and maximize how you spend that time. So when you break it all out, find the things that don't serve you. Find the things that do not work toward the goal in your overall place that you want to be in life. And when you start to identify and then look at how can I remove those things from my life, you will find ways to create time time that you can use productively, time that you can use to take action toward what it is you're trying to accomplish. So I want you to think about, how much time do I spend on social media? How much time do I spend just scrolling through my phone? How much time do I spend watching TV or movies or spending on entertainment? Things that are not serving where you want to be in the long run, things that are not helping you reach your goal. Now, if you can look at, okay, I spend like an hour maybe out of the day where I just get stuck scrolling through social media. I get caught up in the videos. Okay, if I'm spending an hour a day going through that, what if I reduce that? What if I cut it down to 30 minutes of the day? I've just created 30 minutes of space that I can put towards something else more productive, whether that be your self-development, whether that be taking action toward something that you want to accomplish. And do the same thing with other stuff. So it's not just the social media scrolling or just the TV watching. Are there other things that you're doing that don't serve where you want to be in the long term? So identify where you are now, figure out where you want to be, and then what is not helping you get there, what's in the way, and then find ways to put more productive things in place. If you do that, you overcome your time excuse, and you're ultimately able to accomplish the goals you're going after. So overcome the fear, remove excuses, and start taking the action. So when it comes to that time restraint and how we manage that time, I'll give you a perfect example. When I was in college, I was juggling so many different things. So I had a full-time class work schedule. I was doing work study and an internship. And at that time, I was in the National Guard and doing the ROTC program. So I had weekend commitments once a month to go to drill for the National Guard. I had additional ROTC requirements that were outside of my regular class schedule and sometimes on weekends as well. And I was on the basketball team all at the same time. So I had basketball tryouts on top of that, the full class load, plus doing work study and internship in the National Guard. And people would ask, like, how in the world are you managing and balancing all of this? The way that I was able to do all of those things during my college career is because I was reducing the time that I spent on things that were not helping me get where I wanted to be. And it started with having a really strong why. My freshman year, I didn't have enough money to go to college on my own. So I applied for the school, and I'm going here because I want to try to walk onto the basketball team. After taking out, getting every scholarship I could get, taking out every loan that I could take, I was still $1,000 short. And a friend of mine's parents helped me out, and they paid the extra $1,000 that I needed to be able to go to school my freshman year. And I said, never again will I have to rely on somebody else to help me to get there. Now, it's good to have people that are willing to help. So I will not say don't take the help if you need it. But I said, I'm going to find a way to do this myself. And that's why I took on the work. And that's why I joined the National Guard for the benefits. And that's why I grinded so hard, because I said, I'm going to find a way to make this happen for myself. And when you have a strong why behind what you're doing, it makes it so much easier to remove the things that are not serving you, not helping you get to that goal. So I want to challenge you, look at that work schedule, eliminate those things that are not serving you, not helping you reach your goal, and really hone in and figure out what is your why, what is driving you. Why does it matter for you to remove the things that aren't serving you? Why does it matter for you to be taking actions that, hey, there's going to be days where I don't want to do this? You're absolutely going to have days like that. But when you can be disciplined and you can remind yourself of that strong why that you have, you overcome your excuses. And that's exactly why the podcast is focused on finding a why bigger than your excuses. So when you can find that, you can remove the excuse from your life, you focus on your why, and you can start taking that deliberate action. You can start prioritizing appropriately to get to where it is you want to be. So I want to thank you all so much for tuning in today. I want you to go apply this right now, okay? Don't wait. Don't just have spent the time listening today and then throw it away. Okay, go look at what your schedule is. Go look at the excuses you're making, and it's time to take those out of your life. So write out your schedule, find out the time you're spending things on that aren't helping you, and then let's reprioritize. So like, subscribe. If you enjoyed the episode, please share it. Drop a 5-star review. I want to thank you all for tuning in. Comment with your thoughts and questions to join the conversation, and let's grow together.